fans, do you want to win your share of $100,000? Simply enter the houseofboxing.com Fight Night Prediction Challenge. Compete with boxing fans around the world. Simply head over to houseofboxing.com and sign up now.
Matt Lenihan, Boxing Social, in association with houseofboxing.com, Empire Fight Store. Always a pleasure to be joined by Carl Frampton, the very busy Carl Frampton. Book out, whiskey out. Where do you find the time?
I don't know. Honestly, the last sort of 2 months have been probably the busiest I've ever been. Well, definitely the busiest I've been since I retired as a fighter. Possibly the busiest I've ever been in my life. But it's all good. It's going well. The book's flying out. The whiskey's flying out. We've just done a few. It's in all the bars around Belfast. We've done a deal with Tesco's as well, Northern Ireland, which is pretty huge for us. Apparently what I've been told is the quickest from launch to be on the shelves in Tesco's out of any kind of alcoholic beverage. So we're loving it. And it's going well.
Give it a little plug. What's the name?
Stablemate Whiskey by House of Jackal, and it's genuinely it's a premium whiskey.
Upmarket stuff in it.
No, it tastes apart. Like genuinely, I've had people who are apparently there's a thing called whiskey kind of influencers, which I didn't know, but there's a lot of them, and they've all enjoyed it. They all like it. Mixes really well with apple, like fizzy apple, club apple taste or something like that. It's going good.
Well, let's talk about why we're here. Battle of the baddest. MMA's heavyweight superstar Francis Ngannou goes against heavyweight king of the boxing world Tyson Fury. It's received a little bit of criticism, but when you come here, you see the size of the event and the magnitude of it. What do you make of it?
The whole thing's grew on me since the announcement. I've kind of gradually, day by day, got a little bit more excited about it. And look, of course, there's a massive favourite in the fight. But I think we just want to see what Francis can do. We all know what he can do in the MMA world. We want to see if he can box a bit too. It's going to be a hard task, making your boxing debut against the number one heavyweight on the planet, Tyson Fury. People have written him off completely. I suppose I have as well. It's hard to make an argument for him winning, but he does have a small chance because he's such a big guy. And the fact that boxers often talk about this when you spar guys who are like novice and novice styles, it's always very, very difficult. So it could be difficult for a little while for Tyson on the night until he susses them out. But yeah, we're all pretty confident he wins.
Last time I spoke to Tyson, obviously before this week, the Usyk fight wasn't signed, but now it is, and now apparently this is like 99%, 23rd of December. They want a quick turnaround. So now, obviously, he's got to avoid any head clashes, any cuts. Now you can't go in there to not avoid it. It's a fight at the end of the day, but a little bit more pressure now to make sure that date comes off, because if not, it rolls on into next year and it's a when's it happening kind of thing again.
Yeah, look, people are talking about that and talking about the concerns that they have with cuts, whatever. But the biggest concern for me is I imagine he's going to be hitting Francis quite a lot, and depending on how good Francis's chin is, he might have damage to his hands, and that may take a little bit of time to heal. So that's something that people have really forgotten about and haven't mentioned. But there is a few concerns, obviously, with the fight being touted already, as it's going to happen the 23rd. Everyone's saying, hoping it's not. I have a young family at home, and as long as I can be guaranteed that I'm back home in Belfast on Christmas Eve, then I'll be happy for the fight to happen.
Well, look, the fight with Usyk, let's come on to that now. Tyson received criticism for months when he was going back and forth on the videos, and he was saying, look, 30% this, and it was sort of a bit of a public negotiation. I know TalkSport weren't allowed to be here because how heavy they criticised him, but the deal's been done, and it's been done really quickly. Yeah. Everybody knew, obviously, the more money, you're going to make more money in Saudi. Do you understand the criticism he was receiving, or do you think it was over the top? Because he's always maintained, look, I'm afraid to fight anyone. I came back and fought Wilder.
He's not afraid to fight anybody, but I understand the criticism because people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So they're just saying it looks like the fight that everyone wants to happen is Tyson Fury and Usyk. It looked as if for a while that wasn't going to happen, and people got angry and annoyed about that. But I mean, I think Team Fury played a blinder here. He's getting reported $30 million for to fight Francis Ngannou, a guy making his debut in the game, and then he'll double or treble that to fight Usyk at the end of the year. It's insane amounts of money, but it's a big fight, and I hope it does come off.
What happens in him versus Usyk? What happens?
I really like both guys. I genuinely love their style. Love Usyk, love them as a cruiserweight, love him, genius, absolute genius. But I just think that Fury, it would be unfair to say Fury size is the only way he wins the fight, because Fury's obviously very tough. He can box, he knows what he's doing as well. But I've always kind of favoured Fury, but just looking at the Dubois fight, I think that I have Fury as a stronger favourite.
One of the things that's been talked about throughout the week, I know Tyson's been asked a few times, promoters, I want to get your opinion on it. Anthony Joshua apparently paid a couple of grand to go and spend 4 days basically in a dark room, character building, that kind of stuff. What do you make of that? Is that just some his choice kind of thing, or are you? What's your opinion? It seems like quite random, but I suppose.
I suppose it's probably something. I don't know. It's something that it doesn't really appeal to me.
Would you be able to do that?
No, I don't think I could do it anyway. I don't think I'd be mentally strong enough to do it. So even if he staying in a dark room for 4 days sounds almost like some sort of fucking torture. Yeah, mental. But look, each their own. If that's what he wants to do, then let him do it. Who cares? It's his own life, and he can do what he wants.
Right, I've got to ask you, Misfits boxing, we saw tag team boxing now. If you had to come back and have a tag team match against someone, who would you want your partner to be?
Oh, partner?
Roughly around your weight division. I don't want you saying, Ngannou.
No, I was going to say Martin Murray, but he's not my weight. He's like super middleweight.
Go one above or one down, whatever you want.
Okay, Martin Murray is my partner. I'll say me and Martin Murray against Barry and Shane McGuigan.
Who'd win?
Come on now.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No, I'm only joking. That was a joke. But Martin's the type of person you have on your side in any war, so have Martin.
Carl, appreciate your time. Thanks for talking boxing social. Catch up after the fight.
Thanks, mate.